Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Wait, could you repeat that? Couldn't hear you well. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So, how's it going?
I'm good.
Happy to hear that. We'll be doing IELTS writing today, right?
Yes,
And how's your homework?
I did it.
Yeah, you've done your homework, so let's check that. And then we'll look into a new topic together. Now, how was your homework?
It was okay.
And what did you do?
I wrote 2 versions of essay.
Two versions of the essay.
Essay,
Mm-hmm.
and I copied essay, copied the essay of mock test
Uh-huh.
and
So
wrote
the mock test essay, when did you write that?
here.
When?
When on Monday.
Okay, so on Monday. Okay, yeah. And yeah, you're done with these tests. So I'm gonna remove that from here. Yeah. And we will yeah, let's see. But no, you need to copy it in yeah, all right, no, that's fine. Yeah, like this is okay. I thought it was like a picture of the whole essay. Do you have any questions about this diagram? Like when you look at it, do you have any questions?
Can I say like call in local or something else?
Could you repeat that?
Can I say that the call in local or local call?
Call in local. What do you mean? Call in local or local call? What do you mean?
Is the preposition
Hmm?
preposition
Preposition?
preposition
Mm-hmm.
correct
But for what? You mean, are you talking about
or
what
in
verb like call?
or in
And what is the situation?
the
Depends on the
type
situation.
of
Mm-hmm.
call?
Local calls. We usually call them local calls or calling locally. You talking about this?
Yes.
Calling locally, you mean using a cell phone? Yeah, you're using a cell phone. Okay. Yeah, you cannot say call in local. That makes no sense. Local calls or calling locally. Telephone calls in Australia? All right. So did you write all of this in 60 minutes together with the second task?
Yeah, but I couldn't write all of. I couldn't
Couldn't do.
do done.
You couldn't do what? What couldn't you do?
Couldn't do. Couldn't finish writing the whole essay.
Which one?
Task 2.
Okay, I understand. Why not?
I didn't make a note, so it was difficult to write.
Could you explain? So, how much time did you spend on task 1?
20 minutes.
You stopped at 20? Yeah, yourself? Because it doesn't automatically stop you, right?
Yes.
And then you spent how much time on task 2?
40 minutes.
Right. So we need to learn to use the time wisely, right? You think that's the biggest problem right now?
Yes.
Biggest problem in task 2, to use the time wisely, right?
Yes.
And what went wrong, do you think? Why was it difficult?
I didn't make a note. So it was difficult to write the essay in.
Didn't make a note. You mean didn't create a plan?
Yes.
So you started writing immediately without planning, right?
Yes.
And why didn't you plan?
I felt I pushed the from the time.
I don't understand.
I felt a pressure from time.
I felt time pressure.
I felt time pressure.
Uh-huh. Well, now you know that if you fail to plan, you will fail the essay. So you need to plan task 2. Task 1, you can most of the time write without much planning. But task 2, you need to plan out carefully, especially especially the sentences you're gonna write in the body paragraphs. So you know that you have enough. Because if you don't have enough, you need to choose a different idea. Yeah. And that comes in the planning. Okay. Well, let's see what we have. And we really need to do more of this. So we need to write like this more often with the time, the strict timer. Yeah. Before that, let me take a quick look at what else we have. So you have you have written this, yeah? Uh-huh. Did you do it within the time?
I used 40 minutes to write, so I couldn't review and count words.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's okay. How many words is this?
I forgot to count.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's count now. How many words are there? At least approximately. So you understand we're doing this because you need to do this while you do the test. It's very important as well. Like you just need to tell me and tell me this. What is the guaranteed number of words you've written there?
Um,
Take a look at it and tell me how many words are you sure that you have written?
approximately 150.
So minimum is already 150 is minimum?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, this was, okay, this was this. What else? You have done this and this, right? Both?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You finished writing each within 14 minutes, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Here's just different paragraphs, right? So the introduction is the same, different body paragraphs. All
Yes.
right. Okay. Have you read the model essay?
No.
Have you read it?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So even after you haven't done that, why not?
I forgot.
Check on, yeah. And here. uh, mhm. Well, then this will remain for homework because I would rather you do it at home. I'd rather you did it at home. So then let me put it here for you as new homework to analyze. So We need to start with analyze the model essay here. And you need to make a list. Here's the key. In this document, phrases, grammar structures, right? This is, you still need to do that. And okay, so well, let's take a quick look at this graph again. So this is our task 1, yeah, from last time. What are we talking about here?
Changes in the population of India and China.
In the past, now, and in the future. Well, past and future together, right? And can you read it? The first paragraph. Let's discuss it together.
Provided the insert is the information about the figure of citizens of two kinds of Asian country, which are India and China, between 2000 and 2050. Overall, both countries' population grew until now and are predicted to climb in the time period.
Notice any issues? So what do you see here? Right, is the information about the figure. The figure. The figure. Yeah, let's check. Let's grab this again and put it here so we can compare directly. Yeah. Let's shrink it. Yeah, so we have this figure. Yeah, so what do you think? What's wrong there?
Spelling.
No, spelling is fine. The figure. Do we have one figure?
No.
What is figure, in other words?
Number.
Number, yeah. So, what's the change? How many numbers do we have? Do we have one number? Only for China or only for India? Or do we have two numbers? For China and for India?
Figures.
Do you understand why?
As figure is countable.
No, it's because here we have two figures. The important thing is that when we talk about number or figure, that is usually for one thing in the diagram, right? One, in this case, country. Each country has its own number because the population is always just one number, right? In a specific year, it's just one number. So it's not numbers, but it's number for one country, always one. Because you cannot have two numbers in a single year. It's not possible. And because we have two countries, yeah, we have to use figures. And actually, there's one more thing. you can notice in the introduction. So we have, what's the problem there? We have the information. What should we do with it? So the information is very specific here. We don't have that. I mean,
and information.
and information? It's just information, right? Is information because you introduce it for the first time, right? Like you say something like a house. In this case, information. There's no specific information, right? You get it?
Yes.
All right, great. So about the figures now here, we need the because we have specific of there, of citizens and so on. And we have also of citizens. That is, what is the problem there? Hmm?
Of
About the figures of citizens. Like, is it clear? What does this mean or not? What are we talking about? What's the main topic of this diagram?
population.
Population, yeah. Population of China and India. So we have figure of citizens. So this makes sense. It's not the same as population. Figure of citizens. It's not the same. So how else can we say? Number of what? What is the number? So the count. Yeah, we're talking about the count. The figure. I think what we used the word demographic last time, remember? So the figures for demographic of 2 countries, yeah? So demographic sounds better. What else? Is there any other way we can say it? Information about, or maybe we can say like citizen numbers. So citizen count, like what is population in other words? In other words, what does this mean? Let's check. The best way is with the dictionary. So the meaning is so all the people who live in India. What's the definition?
The population of a country or area is all the people who live in it.
All, right? So we need to paraphrase all in a certain way. All the people, yeah? That's one way to say it. We could check Cambridge as well. All the people, or, well, basically numbers, right? But figure in this case refers to the number in the diagram, right? So the figure is the number, but the citizen count is different. Yeah, count of the citizens, all the people. Citizen count. What else? All citizens. So how else can we say that properly? Information about the number of citizens of two. Yeah. Now we have what? We have two kinds of Asian. Two kinds. Is it like India? Is it a kind of a country? Is India a kind of a country?
No.
No. Yes, it's not really. And what is it then? It's just it's not a kind, it's just a country, right? It's just a country, and not a kind of a country. Like Japan is not a kind. Is it a type? So it means type means like there are many kinds of that. Yeah, that's what type means. But here you don't have a type. You just have a country, right? Kind of country is wrong here. So again, kind of country should be just country, because India is not a kind. You understand?
Yes.
What else? So we have um, two kinds of an Asian country, you should say, or two Asian countries. Just because of that kinds, it's also hard to understand what you mean by country. It should be countries, just two countries, right? What else? Which are India and China. Do we need a comma there after China? So which are separated by commas on both sides. Is it clear?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And next, what else do you see in the overall? In the overall, what do you see? Overall, both. Also unclear. Did you cross out population?
Oh.
So it looks like you crossed it out. Doesn't make sense, right? So both countries, how do we write that? Both country. Is it correct? When you say both country. Not correct? So both what?
Countries.
Both countries. You need to, it's like saying two. Both means the same as two pretty much. Country. Something's wrong with my typing. Okay. Both countries. And how do we show possession here?
After S.
Yeah, that's what do we put there? What do we put after S there?
Yes.
What do we write there after S? No.
Apostrophe.
Apostrophe, yes. Both countries like this. So we need this apostrophe at the end after countries. All right. So both countries' population. Actually, yeah, the number. So a figure of citizens, citizen numbers, or just the number. The figures are figures of the number of citizens. The number of citizens. That sounds better here, right? About the information about the figures of the number of citizens of two Asian countries. Overall, in both countries, population grew until till now. We can say, in other words, how? Till now. Until now. How can we say that? In other words.
Until today.
And until both grew until the present day, present moment. But we also can use what tense? So you use what?
Past perfect.
What did you use?
Past simple.
And we can use
Past perfect.
past perfect. So had.
Present perfect.
So how to use it, please? Let's be more active and correct yourself. Lily.
Population
Yeah.
have been growing until now and are predicted to climb
Are
higher. Sorry,
population are predicted.
is
Population R should be is. Yeah, we have population is predicted to climb in the time period. Okay. It's got country's population. Actually, it should be populations also because both countries' population. Okay, no, I can keep it singular. Been growing, and then has been growing. Yeah, because you're using population has been growing. Both countries' population has been growing until the present day, and is predicted to climb further, we can say, instead of just climb how? Climb further within the time period, within the projected time period, well, yeah, within the time period shown. Time period shown. Okay, that is our introduction. Yeah. What else? Now let's take a look at the first paragraph. What have we got here? So the demographic of China increased steadily from 1.5 billion in 2000 to when, or what is this? Which is that is?
Is.
Which is the present year. Well, you don't really need to say that, which is the present year. That doesn't sound right. Yeah? I wish I could edit the photo here as well. Well, later, maybe I'll find out why. Yeah, so which is the present year. We don't need to say that. In 2025, let's say now, that's enough. After the number of citizens, you have there, after the number of citizens are forecasted. Let's put it here separately. So after the number of the number are forecasted. That's what you wrote. Let's fix it.
Is.
Let's start with after. What's wrong with this? After, we don't drop it like that, yeah? After what? We need to add something else.
But I wanted to make two sentences into one sentence.
Oh, you mean after the peak, the figure is predicted to decline like that?
Yes.
So after, well, we cannot say after it's forecasted. Like you are saying after the forecast or after the peak should be like this. After the peak, that's it. Nothing else we need. After reaching the peak of what? Peak of 1.145 billion people. After reaching the peak of people, yeah, that's how we write it here. And if you want to say forecasted, what do we say instead? Okay, if you want to use forecasted, how do we structure the sentence? So if you still want to use forecasted, then how do you structure it differently?
In forecast, after reaching the peak of
in the forecast, like that?
yes,
According to the forecast.
according to the forecast, after reaching the peak of 1.45 billion people.
Next. The figure is predicted.
The figure is predicted to decline slightly to 1.4 billion in 2050.
Okay, so we have resolved that, right? It's a completely wrong structure the way you used it with forecasted and after. So after the peak in the year with this number, the figure is predicted to decline slightly. Okay. And let's check with the picture. So the peak is in 20. Isn't the peak in 2030? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what you said, right? And then we have okay, the decline. All right. So that's the main problem there. And the number of people in India was only 1 billion before the demographic had a considerable growth. Um, a demographic had, how can we change that? Demographic had. Should be experienced or saw a considerable growth, right? The demographic experienced a considerable growth, so the people was only one before. So by 0.4 billion until now growth. Until the present year. No, the present year. That's it. Okay, then it is forecasted to keep increasing until it reaches a keep. What's wrong here?
Until it reaches.
Until it reaches no, it doesn't constantly increase until 1.6. Like it doesn't happen many times, it happens only once, but it keeps increasing until it reaches one time 1.6 billion in 2050. During the predicted increase, there's a point. I like this. This is very well written, this part, yeah? There is a point, but not which, and not exactly like this way, connected. What is missing? A point, which?
In which.
At which? Point at which the population of both countries will be so you said there will be there is a point at which, and we don't need at which is, right? We don't need that is, no is, at which the population, yeah, a point at which the population of both countries will be the same. during the predicted increase in 20. We need to position of in 2030 before there is. Yeah, you need to put it before. So you say during the one during the increase in 2030. Well, actually, maybe not even like that. Let's think. Maybe not. So during the predicted increase. Point. Okay, then not before there is, but before which is which before which. We say it like this: during the increase, there is a point in 2030 at which the population of both countries will be the same, or will be the same. How else can we say that? Will be the same. In other words,
Will become.
again, full structure, please.
Population will become the same.
Will become instead of be. What else? How can we say the same?
I don't know.
Equal. Can you use equal somehow?
The population of both countries will equal to
Will be
will be equal each other.
equal to each other. Relation will be equal to each other. Not each other, then to each others, then, because the population belongs to them. It will be equal to each other's. Or just equal to each other's, that is assumed already. Yeah, will be equal. Okay. Or you say there's a point at which both countries reach the same population figure. Same population figure of reach, like both will or are expected. Let's say like this, instead of mentioning the predictions are expected to reach a figure, both are to reach a figure of 45 billion. Yeah, and it was in 2030. Both are expected to reach a figure of, let's see, in this case, I said to reach the figure of 1.45 billion. That's another way.
One of them doesn't reach
Doesn't reach one.
the number.
Why not? They both reach it.
Yes.
On the other, on second thought, you could say on second thought, yes.
On second thoughts.
Thought.
On second thought. Yes.
On second thought, yes.
On second thought, yes.
I learned to speak faster, but okay. All right. And now we have, what is this?
Before 2025.
What is
and
this here? What are we looking at?
body paragraphs.
But we have already looked at body paragraphs, so what is this here?
The second version
Yeah,
of
the second version of what?
essay.
Of the essay. Second version where we separate paragraphs differently, yeah? We separate paragraphs instead of separating by country, we separate the paragraphs here how? By
Yeah.
year. So first we talk about which period? What period do we talk about first?
2000 to 2025.
Why not 2030?
I forgot
Go what?
the eh, what you said.
What do you mean? What did I say?
You said I can separate by 2000 to 2030.
Where is it? Here, yeah?
Yeah.
Remember? Okay, now you remember. Well, let's see. So we have before 2025, which, what's wrong with that? The way you write is suddenly. Looks like 3. What is it? I3? Are you fascinated with, are you fascinated by the Intel technology of Intel Core i3? You like this Intel Core i3, right? Or maybe BMW i3. Why did you suddenly start writing like this? In the past, I think it was not a problem.
I don't know.
Okay, so we need to address that, right? Which is the present year? Again, which is the present year? It doesn't. Don't write this. It doesn't really add anything, and it's whatever. It's clear because you're writing in the moment. Yeah. The total number of citizens of both countries, I like this more, climbed by 0.19, right?
Yes.
Billion for China and 0.4 billion for India. So here we have, you have a clear point in the past and a continuous, let's say, continuous process that happened, let's say that was happening before that time. What tense shall we use here?
Past perfect.
Why?
Present perfect.
Why? I just want you to explain. Why doesn't mean no?
There are clear point, and there is a clear point.
Not clear,
In
a specific point where?
the specific point,
In the
which
future.
is
Mhm.
2000
In the past.
in the
Specific point in
past.
the past, and what else?
And the influence from the past to now.
The influence from the past till now. Well, the process, yeah, of something happening. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. And so you just need to start using that. Yeah? I mean, you need to start using past perfect eventually. Three past perfect. How do we use it? Yeah. What do we change?
Had climbed.
Had climbed. Yeah. At the first year. Do we say at year?
In
In. In the first year, in the time period. We don't need to say this in the time period like this, in the time period. So the first, like it's very confusing. In the first year, which is the year 2000, just say it directly. It doesn't really help you with more words like that, actually. So, well, or maybe we could transform it a little bit, yeah, to add words. So during the first year, or well, in the first year of the time period, right? Let's say of the time, in the first year of the of the of the shown time period, depicted, you could say, depicted, same as shown. Um, in the first year, which is the year 2000, there was a large differences. You have add differences. Hmm?
there was those differences.
Where there were differences.
There were
But it doesn't make sense to speak like that here. We have there was a difference of, let's just say, like, was difference in singular. There was a difference, and well, yeah, let's fix it then. Difference of 0.5 billion, or what is 0.5 billion? 0.35 billion. What is that?
350 million.
Just say that. It's smarter. Like this is easier to read too. A difference of, there was a difference of 350 million between the two countries. Yeah, between and you have Indian and Chinese. You're missing the between the Indian and Chinese, and the Chinese population. And the position of the buy 0.35 billion is at the end. It's very unclear. It's just clunky. Clunky means kind of like, well, looks wrong and heavy and unclear. Right? Clunky, unclear, a little bit harder to read. It takes time to understand. So we need to add that here. How do we do it? Can you read it for me? Like, change it and say it, please.
There was a difference of the 350 million between the two countries.
The difference of between the two countries. And why are you mentioning that?
It's the largest difference.
You can say that in the writing. You could say that is the largest, which is the point when the difference when, oh, let's say it was the largest, or when, how can we paraphrase difference? The discrepancy, disparity, disparity. Let's see, disparity I think works here best. You can use thesaurus. That's how you should use it when you correct your writing, when you learn English. Or dissimilarity, distinctness, not good here. Contrast is good. Disparity, discrepancy doesn't work here. It's different meanings. So contrast, disparity. Anything else? That's it probably. When the disparity, what?
Was the biggest.
Yeah, was the greatest. So you need to say that, because why are you talking that? I mean, why are you talking about that? Why are you suddenly at the end of the paragraph talking about that? It doesn't make sense without it being explained. And then you have from 2025 to 2050. What do you have? While the demographic of India is predicted to keep increasing to 1.5 billion. The figure of citizens, again, figure of citizens, the figure of number, or let's say the figure of like a figure doesn't work with citizens like that, yeah, because it's different. So the figure of citizens population, or the demographic figure, let's say that. What?
The demographic figure
Of China is forecasted to decline to 1.4 billion in the final. So it only declines in the final year? You are saying it's forecasted to decline in the final year. So it goes like this, yes, and then suddenly abruptly drops. So it drops abruptly in 2050, yes? Or not?
No.
No, it doesn't, but you wrote that. Because forecasted to decline in the final year to 1.4. But you have in the time period of the final year, in final year of the time period.
The final year of the time period.
So how do we change it so it doesn't decline only in that year? How do we say that it declines over?
Decline steadily to 1.4 billion up to the final year.
No, over the period. I've already said that. So we need over the period. Yeah, right? Over the period. Declines over a period, let's say, of however many years you need. So that is missing. But I really like that structure. You have the date very clearly at the start, perfect, and then you have while structure, while something, comma, something else. Yeah, that structure is great to use, and it's used perfectly here. You just need that problem and fix that problem with clarity. So it declines over the period, reaching 1.4 in the final year. Repeat.
Over the time period, reaching 1.45 billion. 1.4 billion in the final year.
Okay. Yeah, 1.4 billion in the final year. All right, very good. What else? Next. In addition, in 2030, the figure of both countries, again, wrong spelling, yeah, wrong writing of both countries' population. I still think we should probably use populations because there are two countries, two population figures. So populations, even for both, we should say populations of both countries' populations. The figures for both countries' populations reached, not were the same, but they reached the same or are projected, or also were in the future, you said in 2030 were, yeah? So that's a big mistake there, and it's projected to reach the same or be equal in 2030. Okay. Well, still quite a few mistakes there, even though it's a rewriting. We need to, try and well, avoid that problem. Yeah. Okay. Need to avoid the problem of making mistakes in your rewriting. So that's why I also want you to take a look at this model essay and finish it. Now compare it to what?
The model essay.
So the model essay, you compare it to what?
To learn how to say it.
No, you compare it to your writing. You look at your writing, then you look at the model essay together, yeah?
Yes.
And you need to highlight, learn yourself how to extract, how to take important words and structures from the model essay so you can remember that, so you can use it yourself. You look at the model essay, it takes time to understand, analyze, pick something you like, or ignore something you dislike, or try to understand why in the model essay it's like this and not like that. Yeah. So that's why you make a list. I would add. I will add this now here. So you need to add questions about confusing words structure. So you also add that to your list. So you want to learn, for example, why is it like this here? Why is it like that? And you need to add that when analyzing. That takes time. All right. Now we have. Now we'll come back to. I mean, now we'll continue with our mock test that you did. And would you like to do this after a break?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, how long?
5 minutes, please.
All right. 1 minute timer. I recommend you to maybe whip up or prepare some coffee so you're feeling a bit more energetic. Just a little bit would be nice. Yeah. Because you need a lot of brain power. Coffee enables you to think sharper for a bit. Yeah. So I think that's good. Of course, move, splash water in the face, and maybe a little bit of coffee. Do you need more time for that?
No.
Well, okay, let's keep it 5 minutes then, all right? See you soon.
See you.
Okay. Did you have time for coffee?
I don't have coffee
You don't have
in my
coffee?
house.
Why not?
I don't have coffee machine. A coffee machine.
What? I don't understand.
I don't have a coffee machine.
But you can buy, packets of coffee that just require hot water. No powdered coffee in packets. It even
Mm,
has sometimes milk and sugar together, but you can buy raw. I mean, just powder and add your own milk and sugar. You know that?
yeah,
So is that not good?
my family like
Likes.
my family likes tea more,
Mm,
so we don't buy
coffee.
coffees.
Okay. Coffees, you said?
Yeah,
Coffee. Doesn't buy
oh,
coffee. And what do you have tea that energizes you?
yes,
You have tea that gives you energy too, right? Yeah, well, that's
yes.
also a good option. Yeah, I honestly I agree. Tea is healthier. Now let's come back to this. So we have Australia telephone calls. How many years is this?
10 years.
2001, 2002, 2003, 4, 5. Yeah. So 2000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many years is that?
8.
Okay. You said 10?
Yes.
Let's count again. Can you count and show your hands in the air, please?
2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. So wait, 2000? Yeah.
2001.
2001, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So you have like one extra here. Yeah. So 8 in total. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. This is important because sometimes you want to name the period like over the period of 9 years, right? But that will be wrong. Okay. Now, did you count the words?
The the website already counted for me
Do you remember?
170.
66. It shows here. 166. Well, okay. Now, provided in the bar chart is information about how many minutes people in Australia made. How many minutes people in Australia made a telephone call? This doesn't make sense. This part. Okay, it makes sense, but there's a mistake. How many minutes?
Which
No. Minutes people made a telephone call. How many minutes? That's not how we connect those two. All right, you have how many minutes? Good. People made a telephone call. Well, we can actually check that with call. What other verbs do we use with call? You can see it here. Fine. What do you see?
give?
Um, Well, give somebody. You see, SB, what is SB there? You see? What does that mean?
Somebody.
You have to say that, right? If you don't have somebody there, then it's wrong. Yeah? So what else then?
Make. Place.
Did you use make already? So the alternative is
Place.
place. What? How to use it?
Place a call.
Yeah, you can place a call. What else can we use with call here?
Get, have, receive. Answer, take.
What's the best one? Pick one. One more. After make and place, those are the best. And the third best, which one is it?
Get.
Got, calls. Received is better for writing. Get is better for speaking. Get is a little bit informal, sometimes very informal. Depends on the context. So receive is always better for writing. But remember the spelling, it's EI, not IE in receive. Okay. Maybe answered could also be used. Taken is okay, but take is what is the problem with take?
Sometimes informal.
Why?
Then,
Can you take a call?
it's kind of idioms.
Kind of an idiom.
Kind of an idiom.
Yeah, well, it is an idiom. Like it's maybe not an idiom, but it's idiomatic language. That's what they call in IELTS, yeah, because phrasal verbs or things like this, it's idiomatic language, not just an idiom is like once in a blue moon, raining cats and dogs. That's an idiom, right? A full like phrase or sentence, that's an idiom. But here it's just an idiomatic language. So take a call, you don't really take it. But it depends on how you view it. Maybe in Britain, it's been used for so long, people never consider it an idiomatic language anymore. It's just maybe regular already, yeah? Depends on how you view it, from which perspective you look at it. But normally, like answer, receive, make, place a call. So you need to know these words. Why? Like, why don't we just use make?
To paraphrase.
To paraphrase, yes, and to show the understanding of the topic better. Now we come back to the problem. So we have many minutes, and people made a telephone call. Like how many minutes, and people placed or received telephone call. How do we combine that? Yeah, in the chart, in the task, in the rubric, we have shows the total number of minutes of telephone calls. So that is different, right? And even before we fix your problem, before we fix this mistake, do you see another problem here with the task, which was just phone call minutes? That's the task. And you saying people made a call. What is the problem then? Do you see or not? Call minutes. So you have it like this. Look, you have in the task, you have call minutes, and versus what you wrote, people made a call. Like minutes of people making a call.
Yes.
So what's the problem here?
The second one is how long do people take time to place a call?
Yeah. So it's like, mhm. I want you to speak more. I speak too much. Definitely. I want you to speak more, please. For me, it's hard when things are silent. I really want to say something. So I want you to fill in the silence when it's silent. I want you to speak as much as you can. Practice speaking too, please.
But the first one is a exact whole minutes, the exact minutes people
Like, well, what is the action there? Like, what are they counting with minutes?
when they speaking.
So speaking on the phone, right? Not placing a call, like waiting, yeah? Making a call, calling, yeah? It's calling versus
Speaking.
speaking, because calling itself is like the process of like calling, like beep, beep, yeah, like something like in the background there. You're waiting basically, and speaking is speaking. All right, so that is like the biggest issue here, the biggest issue. And from that issue, you have smaller problems. So the biggest issue is that you kind of misunderstood, or you didn't show that you understood the topic. So that's a problem. So we need then this information about how many minutes. So let's try to fix it now, if possible.
People in Australia spoke in the call.
Spoke. How many minutes people spoke in the call? Yeah.
In their calls.
In their calls. Or how many minutes people or Australia? How can we paraphrase people in Australia?
Australia.
What?
The Australian.
Just Australians. Australians. Uh, how many minutes Australians? What's missing?
Spoke.
Spent. You spend time. Yeah. So how many minutes Australia? Australians. How many minutes Australians spend on and are we counting minutes here?
Yes.
Or billions of minutes?
Billions. of
We're not counting because it says even here in billions. So you should repeat that somehow. You can repeat either the same way or a different way if you can. Of course, different way is better. So we want is the question about how many billions of minutes. Then you don't have to write it in the brackets. If it's already in the brackets in the original rubric, then you change it to billions of. But if it's like this, billions of minutes, then you can put it in the brackets yourself. Like you can exchange, right? Brackets versus no brackets. Uh, that's the easiest. Like, of course, you can also change it to, I don't know, thousands of millions or something. Was it hundreds of millions or thousands of millions? But it's more confusing, so better not. You can be creative. You can think of many ways. But we're not going to spend time on that now. So about how many billions of minutes people, Australians, spend on telephone calls. So that is it better?
yes.
And then by 3 categories. By, why by? Maybe any other way?
Of
Maybe, well, what do we have in the task? We have divided. We can keep that, change divided to what?
separated.
Separated into by 3 categories. We can't say that in English, so remove that. Separated into 3 categories, which are local, national, and international, and mobiles. What you did here is very nice. You used a comma here before and mobiles. That's good. Some people forget that comma before the end, yeah, before the last. So now we have which are local, national, international, and mobiles. Mobiles you can paraphrase maybe. You can also add local calls, which are local calls, because you don't have to repeat this exactly the same, right? Like you can paraphrase even those labels you see in the graph. If it makes more sense, you can add them to them something, or you can paraphrase them, right? So we have which are local calls, national and international. How can we paraphrase calls? Do you know? So that's what you need to look up after you finish writing. Why don't you look up OSDIC, the keywords like call? You need to know everything about calls, like here, right? All the prepositions, all the verbs that go with it, maybe nouns, maybe we have uh, synonyms of it, right? So we have here we have call as in strange. We don't have actually call as in like telephone call. Well, we can think of it ourselves, the national, like phone calls. And what mobiles, what is that?
Device.
Okay, mobile devices or calls involving, or even more words for you. How can we add calls that involved mobile devices? And
What's
actually, you
mobiles?
what?
What's mobiles?
Hmm. I think it means they mean mobile phones. You know that?
Yes.
Well, we can check specifically. Maybe they mean something else. Mobiles usually means a mobile phone. Noun. Phone. Yeah, mobile is a phone in the UK and Australia. Okay. And you have a problem here. You have mobiles between 2010 and 2008, 2008, 2001. So you mean devices from those years, right?
No.
No, you mean the whole thing is counting. So providing the bar chart is information, and we can put it after information from the years, from a 9-year, or was it 8? Yeah, 8, from information from an 8-year period in the brackets between 2001 and 2008. That's one way. What else can we do here? We need to make it crystal clear, very obvious. We need to make it obvious that the period is for the whole thing. So how do we do that? Fine.
The information of the period of 8 years. Bracket.
Well, a providing bar chart is the information, maybe information from or about the years 2001 to 2008, about the years, so from years from year 2001 2008. Yeah, so we'll put it somewhere here. Let's grab it and put it somehow here.
It's between available. Is the word between available after information?
What do you mean available? You mean possible?
Yeah,
Possible to use?
possible.
Right, and watch this information between. It sounds strange. Information between, like, should be taken between or from something, but from between also doesn't sound right. So you need a longer structure. So that's why I'm adding punctuation here, so you can try to paraphrase later. Well, now let's read it one more time. What is a better paraphrase? Yeah.
Provided in the bar chart is the information from 2001 to 2008 about how many billions of minutes minutes Australians spend on telephone calls separated into 3 categories, which are local calls, national and international phone calls, and calls that involve mobile devices.
Okay. And here we have the overview. It should be a part of the introductory paragraph, so you don't need the paragraph here. Yeah? Don't need the paragraph. And overall, the number of minutes of telephone call, what is this? What's wrong here?
Calls.
Of how can we paraphrase the whole thing?
Local telephone calls.
Yes, of local telephone calls. The number of minutes of local telephone calls. The number was always higher than You can also add it instead of always during the whole period. During the whole period. Is it better than always?
Yes.
Why? more words,
Yes.
and sometimes sounds better. The so during the whole period are higher than in national. Like what is in here? Then telephone. The number of minutes was always higher than the number of minutes. Well, okay, in calls, maybe, okay, in national and international. Here you forgot a comma, and mobile calls. And need to add that calls here. In the time period, why do you have a paragraph here? Each sentence is on a new paragraph?
No.
So why is it like that? Strange, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but maybe when I copy it from the
Oh, okay. So next time when you copy, make sure it looks correct with the paragraphs, okay? You can change it a bit. So it should be the same as in the original. So in the time period, the figure of telephone. So here is okay to have a paragraph, obviously. And you decided to have only one paragraph or two?
two.
Two, then, yeah. In the whole time period. Well, this doesn't make sense. We shouldn't write whole. You are supposed to separate it, yeah? So you can, in the time period between 2001 and 2004, yeah, like that is okay. But in the whole time period is not good because it's already clear. It's not an overview anymore. So the figure of telephone calls, again, not in local, but locally, was kept, and kept is not good. Remained, we usually say remained the same. Remained, but we cannot say remained the same number. So calls remained the same with the number of minutes at, and we don't need a comma here, with the number of minutes staying at so local. Wait, are you saying? Well, I don't understand. Why are you saying in the time period then? In the whole time period, it changed. It didn't stay the same.
But at first and at last.
Ah, I see what you mean now. So that is a bit wrong because in the time period, it means not start and finish only. It means every year. So that's wrong. You can say that at the start and the end of the period, it was the same. Yeah, so it started with the same and ended with the same. That's good, actually. It's good to say. Remain the same. Okay, so at the start and end, yeah. And then although you misspelled it, yeah, the figure of minutes climbed steadily and peaked. And we usually say peaked at 90 billion in 2005. So you can move this at 90 billion, but you can also keep it this way. It's also possible. Climbed and peaked in 2005. It declined to 72. But you have already said that. So why would you repeat the same information? Like here, you're repeating the same information as the previous sentence. It's such a waste of time. You have very little time. You have very limited sentences and everything. There's so many features to report. This is a huge number of features here. There's so many things you can talk about, right? You shouldn't waste it on repeating the same information. Yeah. So make sure not to repeat. Yeah? Make sure not to repeat the same info. And what can we say instead? We can combine it into
the first sentence.
combine it into one together, right? So it started with 72, then it peaked while climbing steadily, and then declined back to 72 million. Yeah, or any other structure is okay. I'm giving you one example. There are many. Now, next paragraph, you have while the number of minutes of telephone calls locally. You have a problem here with didn't. You know,
Did not.
yeah, did not. We don't contract it. So, well, the number of minutes of local. You have number of minutes repeating. See, number of minutes or figure of minutes. And a figure, usually we say figure 4. And the number of minutes, we can say the billions, billions of minutes, telephone calls. And it did change. So you are saying the wrong thing. It did change in the time period. It went up and down. Like only the start and the end remained the same. Number increased. The number of increased, and we usually say the number of both, or the number increased in both national and international calls. Okay. Well, all right. Actually, we can keep it as well as mobiles, as well as mobiles. Which, what is which? Which finished? Okay, at 61 and very good. You've used respectively. Well done. Which finished, but I'm not sure about finished. Which finished? What does the finished mean? At the end of the period, right?
Yes.
Which finished at 61 and okay. Well, I think we can keep it. All right. At first, there were only 38 billion for international minutes. You can call it. You can replace calls with minutes here, and 2 billion for mobiles. Oh, they both had a considerable growth. Had a considerable growth, and you need a comma here after. However, considerable growth. But within what period? During what period?
I don't know.
Should the reader know? How can the reader know? You mean like during the whole period?
Yes.
From start to finish. Okay, so you need to say that. Yeah, you need to say that. Time, period. Well, you could say both. But maybe the both figures, instead of had a growth, maybe we can say grew significantly. Grew. Both figures grew significantly, comma, by respectively, or no, each one grew significantly by this and that. You can repeat respectively, but you just used it. So just use each one grew significantly by this and that. Okay. But it's a bit hard to understand. You have to come back and check what does 23 refer to. Is it like national or international? I mean, national, or mobiles. It's a bit a bit unclear. And you can also indicate that the biggest change, what was the biggest change here? That's interesting to know. Like overall, which one of them changed the most? Had the biggest change?
The calls locally from 2005 to 2006.
That was the biggest jump out of all? Or 2006 to 2007?
The second thought, yes.
On second thought.
On second thought.
Well, you learn quickly. Well done. So yeah, that's the biggest jump there. You can mention that. Maybe it could be interesting. The biggest decline, we only have one. I mean, only one figure declined, local. So you can talk about that. But I was actually thinking of over the whole years, like among the three, which one changed the most? Like 72 to 90, 38 to 61, 2 to 46. Which one is the biggest change? So out of all three, which one experienced like had like a biggest change within the period? Not like between years, but over the whole period. Which one had the biggest change?
The mobile call.
Yes, it changed by 44. And you should say that it's the biggest change when you write. So it's clear. Because like this, it sounds like you skipped it, or maybe it's not important, but it is very important. You could say that, you could say it even like this, that it had the biggest change, and it also had the biggest jump within the years, like between 2006 to 2007, and also had a big jump there. No one else had that jump. Well, the rest is pretty good, I think. Well done. Were you stressed while writing? Worried?
Yes.
How would you rate your worry while writing on a 10 scale from, let's say, 1 to 10?
8.
Wow, very worried. Then we need to do more of this. Now we haven't finished checking your very little, kind of somehow small part task 2. Why is it shorter? This is your writing? You didn't have time. What did you spend time on?
To make sentences.
Okay. Well, we need to start learning how to write faster. Maybe use simpler structures, because if you are too focused on making it sound good, then you forget that you don't have time to finish writing. Because this is, you just lose, let's say, 3 bands just for how little it is, or minimum 2. Let's say you lose 2. That I know for sure, because you wrote half the size. Yeah, again, it is what it's 134, half the size of the original. So that would be, for example, worth of 6, but you get 4 just for the word count. But of course, it also affects your writing, because you might miss some points, and that is not good. Then what shall we do? Your goal will be to restart. Let's say to finish writing. finish another task 1 plus task 2. When can you do that? Can you do it before our next meeting or not yet?
When is our next?
Hmm?
When is our next meeting?
We need to check that. Yeah. Well, we'll be finishing now. Let me see. And I want to know when you're available next. So we've agreed. We haven't agreed on any meeting yet, have we? So
No.
next we're gonna have speaking when?
Mm, I want to study on Friday next week, but it's so far, so I would say mm, let me see. Mm, Um, is it better to study as soon as possible, right?
Well, it's up to you. I want it to be convenient so you don't feel overly stressed, so you don't feel like you are overwhelmed. Yeah. I want you to pick a comfortable time for you. Okay.
Yes. So I'd like to study on this stu- on this Saturday, the coming Saturday, and study one study once the next week or
Mm-hmm.
next week.
So this Saturday, you want to study at what time?
Um, from 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. Let me see from Fox. Oh, 5 is all right.
Okay.
And that is going to be speaking, right? So I will check shadowing. Please put the shadowing in the document so I can see that everything clearly, and just put it there immediately after you're done. Actually, there's something I have found that I wanted to share with you. Where was it? Let me send it to you now in WhatsApp. Yeah, I have found a new way to record with automatic transcription. So you might find it useful. I will send it to you in WhatsApp now. It's a new website where you can go and you can click record on your phone or computer. It will record your speech, and at the end of it, it will transcribe everything. Like you will see it in the text. You should try it and see if it is useful. So I've sent you the link. Yeah, and you can check it out.
Okay.
If it's not really helpful, you can keep using Vocaroo. But I think this is great. So you can check how you sound there in like what mistakes you've made and so on. Yeah, it could be useful. What else? To meet on Saturday and for next week, do you want to agree now?
Yes.
So when?
On Friday.
Next week on Friday?
Yes.
That's the only day where it's not very convenient for me. You sure there's no other day?
On Thursday.
Well, Thursday is a little bit better, but what time?
Well, is it possible to study for 1 hour?
Maybe 1 hour, 2 times during the week, or not?
Well,
Well, okay, let's do it
yes.
like this. You think a bit more about it, and you message me in WhatsApp, but it's very important that you do it. Like, just stop the lesson now, think hard, think what's convenient for you, and just send me the most convenient time. Ideally, not Friday. Friday is like the last option. Okay, if that's the only option, all right. But if you have other options, that's better. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for coming, Quingang.
Thank
And
you.
any questions left about writing or anything?
No.
No? If you have any questions, send them to me. You need to communicate with me outside of the lessons too. I need to see the questions to see that you're willing to do this. Okay. And see you next time then. Bye bye.
Yeah. Thank you.